This is a 25-minute mindful movement practice. You can do this practice standing or sitting down. If standing, then standing with the feet hip distance apart. The body is stacked on the hips. The head and neck are in line with the body. The arms are hanging gently at the side. If sitting on a firm, supportive chair, placing the body towards the front of the chair so that the feet are firmly on the ground and the body is well supported by the chair. The arms are hanging at the side or the hands are resting on the thighs. Whether standing or sitting, this is the neutral position. In this neutral position, becoming aware of the breath, paying attention to the breath as it comes into the body and goes out of the body, while the body is in stillness in this neutral position. In this practice of mindful movements, we will be doing slow, gentle movements. This is not a yoga practice or a stretching practice or a form of exercise. This practice is an opportunity to observe our body as it moves, an opportunity to become mindful of our body while it is in motion. And while it is a movement practice, you do not actually need to move. Imagining the body making the movement, placing full attention on the sensations that arise as we imagine the body making the movement is as effective as moving the body. So if there is a movement that is not available to you today, then simply imagining the movement, placing attention on the sensations, and following along with the guidance, imagining the movement. The most important part of this practice is to take care of ourselves. When we discover limitations, when we discover restrictions, to observe those and to bring an attitude of care, support, and respect to those restrictions and limitations. We're not here to perform. We're not here to achieve anything. We're simply here to observe, holding an attitude of care, an attitude of kindness towards the body, observing the body as it moves. Working wisely and with sensitivity, cultivating an understanding of this body, our body, cultivating an understanding of what feels right to do and what does not as the body moves. Being aware of the breath, moving in and out of the body, being aware of the breath as the body moves, remembering to accept your limits, not pushing or forcing anything, but rather working gently with the body. It's not about what the body can or cannot do, but rather it's developing a curiosity and mindful awareness. Over time and with practice, you will discover your body changing. Observing this, being kind to changes within the body. In the neutral position, becoming aware of the breath, getting a sense of the body in this position. Preparing for the first movement, a stretch of the neck, directing the attention to the head and neck, and dropping the right ear towards the right shoulder, bringing a stretch to the left neck, holding the head here, observing sensations that arise in the neck, perhaps sensations extending to the shoulders and arms and chest. And bringing the head back to the neutral position, pausing here, observing sensations. And then dropping the left ear towards the left shoulder, bringing a stretch to the right side of the neck, observing sensations that arise with curiosity. And bringing the head back to the neutral position. Repeating this movement at your own pace, in your own time, taking the time to observe sensations as they arise, as you move the body part, and as you bring it to stillness. As you complete the next set of movements, coming back to the neutral position, checking in with the breath, pausing here for a moment. Preparing for the next movement, turning the head towards the right to look over the right shoulder if this is available to you, observing sensations that arise in the neck, the head, the shoulders, the back. And then bringing the head back to the neutral position, pausing here, observing sensations. And now turning the head to look over the left shoulder, pausing here and observing sensations that arise. And then bringing the head back to the neutral position, pausing here, checking in with sensations, checking in with the breath. Repeating this movement at your own pace, paying attention to sensations that arise and change, paying attention to the breath. Completing the next set of movements and coming back to the neutral position, pausing here, checking in with the breath. Preparing for the next set of movements that involve the shoulders, taking the right arm and stretching it across the chest to reach towards the left. Using the left arm to support the right arm if needed, bringing a stretch to the right shoulder, the back, the arm, observing sensations that arise as you stretch the right shoulder. Releasing the right arm to the neutral position and pausing here. And when you're ready, bringing the left arm up across the chest to reach towards the right, using the right arm to support the left arm if needed, and observing sensations that arise in the left shoulder, in the back and neck, perhaps in the right arm. Releasing the left arm to the neutral position and pausing here, checking in with the breath, checking in with the body. When you're ready, completing these movements at your own pace, in your own time, bringing an attitude of curiosity, bringing an attitude of kindness to the body. Completing these next set of movements and bringing the body back to the neutral position, pausing here, checking in with the breath, checking in with the body. Preparing now for the next set of movements, a stretching of the back and chest. In the neutral position, beginning to curl the body forwards, tucking the chin towards the chest, curling the head down, curling the chest forward to bring a stretch to the chest and upper back, if this is available to you. With kindness, observing the stretch in the chest and back. And slowly curling the back up to the upright position, bringing the head back into the neutral position and observing sensations here, checking in with the breath, checking in with the body. And if this is available to you, curling in the other direction to bring a stretch to the chest, tilting the head backwards, tilting the back backwards to open the chest, to bring a stretch to the chest, observing sensations in the chest, the neck, the back. Being mindful of limitations and restrictions in the body, being respectful of limitations and restrictions that become known to us. And then curling the back forwards to bring the body back into the neutral position, aligning the head with the neck, with the back, with the hips. Observing the breath, observing sensations in this neutral position. At your own pace, being aware of limitations, doing this movement, curling the body forward, curling the body backward to stretch the back and chest for a few times. After completing the next set of movements, bringing the body back to the neutral position, checking in with the body, checking in with the breath. And now preparing for the next set of movements, some movements of the spine. Placing the hands on the thigh and sliding the hands down the thighs to fold the body forward to bring a stretch to the spine. Being careful of any tension or restrictions in the spine, being careful not to bring pain to the body. When discovering a limitation, being respectful of that limitation and stopping. Bring an attitude of care and kindness to the body. And then with gentleness, unfolding the body to the neutral position, perhaps using the hands to support the body to bring it back into the neutral position. If it's available to you, doing this movement one more time, bringing a stretch to the spine and back, perhaps to the legs. Coming back to the neutral position, pausing here, checking in with the breath, checking in with the body. Preparing now for the next movement, a twisting of the spine. Slowly, gently, being mindful of limitations, turning the body towards the left, the shoulders towards the left, turning the neck and the head to look over the left shoulder, bringing a twist to the spine. If there are limitations, being respectful of these limitations and pausing at that limitation. And then slowly turning the head, the neck, the shoulders, and body back to the neutral position. Preparing for a twist to the right, turning the body, the shoulders, the head and neck to look over the right shoulder. Holding here and observing sensations that arise. Observing any differences between the two sides. With gentleness, turning the body back, turning the head, the neck, the shoulders, the body back to the neutral position. Pausing here, checking in with the body, checking in with the breath. If it's available to you, doing these movements a few more times at your own pace with kindness and curiosity. If the movement is not available to you, remembering that it's perfectly okay to imagine the movement, to pay full attention to sensations that may arise in the body if we were doing the movement, and to do the movement in the imagination, to do the movement in the mind. After the next set of movements, coming back to the neutral position, observing sensations, observing the breath. And preparing for the next set of movements, a stretching of the side body, swinging the right arm up alongside the right ear and tilting the body to the left to bring a stretch to the right side body. Observing sensations that arise in the right side body, perhaps the right armpit and the right arm. There may be sensations also in the left body, in the shoulders, neck, and chest. Being mindful of what arises in the body with this movement. And then swinging the right arm back down to bring the body into the neutral position again. Doing this movement on the other side, sweeping the left arm up alongside the left ear and tilting the body towards the right, bringing a stretch to the left side body, a stretch to the left armpit and left arm, observing sensations that may arise here. And now sweeping the left arm back into the neutral position, bringing the body into the neutral position, pausing here, checking in with the body, checking in with the breath. Completing this set of movements to the right and to the left at your own pace. And if the mind begins to wander, if the mind begins to judge, if the mind begins to tell a story, noticing the mind, and then turning the attention back to paying attention to the body in motion, the body in stillness. And after the next set of movements, coming back to the neutral position, pausing here, checking in with the body, checking in with the breath. And now preparing for the next set of movements, movements involving the arms, the forearms, and the hands. Bringing the hands up in front of the face with the fingers pointed forwards, the arms outstretched. And then tilting the fingers upwards to point them towards the sky, bringing a stretch to the forearms, the wrist, the hands, and fingers. And now releasing the stretch to bring the fingers to point downwards towards the ground, observing sensations that arise as we point the fingers downwards, checking in with the breath. And then releasing the hands, releasing the arms to rest in the neutral position. And then once again, doing this movement on your own, bringing the arms up to point the fingers upwards, and then pointing the fingers downwards, moving at your own pace, moving in your own time. And then after completing this next set of movements, releasing the hands, releasing the arms to the neutral position, and pausing in the neutral position, checking in with the body, observing how the body is after these series of movements, checking in with the breath. Moving the attention to the ears and paying attention to the sound of the bell.